It's like, I need to find the right button. I want to make the. There we go.
Hey.
What the hell's going on here? I'm getting lost in the sauce.
I'm going to have to clap.
I ain't good for nobody. All right, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, there are Christmas movies that spring to mind the second that you hear the phrase Christmas movie, but what about those movies on the edge? We haven't seen her since all the way back in June in HMP Volume 2, Episode 2. Welcome back, Sandy, and welcome back to Half-Ass Movie Podcast. Welcome back, you dirty babies. It's time for another Half-Ass Movie Podcast, a show where we put together a half-ass theme as an excuse to watch movies. My name is Adam Porters, and joining me today, it's been said that he looks like Peter Gallagher. If Peter Gallagher got hit by gamma rays, sweet Sean Kovacs from the internet.
Oh, by the gamma rays thing, you mean because I'm so damn tall?
You're like hulkish compared to that guy. It feels like, you would just be like, you'd bust out of that whatever little tiny suit that he's in.
It's the eyebrows and the nose. That's why
It's
I
true.
get the Peter Gallagher reference. I know.
And the doorman at Pete's apartment is Bruce's spirit animal, Bruce Leslie.
Hey, you gotta love those kindreds when those spirits arise. You know what I mean?
I see that guy in there, and I was just like, this is an all-time Bruce Leslie performance if I've ever seen one. He's hamming it right to the, like Sandra Bullock. I don't care. I don't give a damn who's in there. He is just called, Mah! He is shaking the camera with his glee on how he is in this big, giant movie.
He just wants to make sure his lines are audible. That's all.
That's all. And they are. They're very audible. And we'll talk about all those kind of good stuff because we are back. And our question of the month is this a Christmas movie? And this month we're asking, or this week rather, we're asking that question from HMP alumni over here, HMP Volume 2 alumni, Sandra Bullock, who we just recently mentioned there, and Bill Pullman, who we recently saw in Spaceballs there. Put them together with Peter Gallagher and a bunch
Just
of
last month
actors, man. Christmas cheer, and you got a movie, man. And we were talking about While You Were Sleeping. Sean, you came up with this one. I don't think many people even think about While You Were Sleeping as being a Christmas movie.
No, this wasn't one of mine. This is no. This was that list that you sent me.
Was that in
Applescruff.
There we go. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
there we go. Let's give credit to the real people. Applescruff. You get first and foremost on that one. Screw sweet Chauncey. Who's that guy?
Right, and well, I want to give credit where credit's due, and this is a really good one to kind of break down on whether or not it's a Christmas movie because it's in there, baby. Like, it is definitely in there, the Christmas stuff. The difference between this and I think most of the other movies that we're going to be watching is that Sandy is in that phase of her life, and this character is in that phase where you don't have kids yet, and you're not a kid anymore, and you're on your own, and she's got it way worse because she doesn't have a family. And that rears its head in there with this movie. And there's a definite feel of like that feeling you get when you're in your early 20s and Christmas isn't magical at all. And you kind of like, shit, I forgot it's Christmas. Like you're like around that phase of your life. And it can get kind of morose. And that's definitely in the DNA of this movie. And I think it's interesting how hard they hit it. To be honest with you, I didn't think that I didn't remember it being that hard, but it does. It goes there, this movie, and I think that makes for an interesting watch. Which, good Lord, this movie could use more of that because it is so paint by numbers. But it's there are some good moments in this movie.
I will say, when you were talking about the interesting things to talk about in this movie, I was a little worried I might have seen the wrong one, but no, I think I did see it.
But before we jump into our review here and everything, we just want to remind everyone that the show you're listening to right now in podcast form is also a live stream over on our YouTube page there and everything in both vertical and horizontal. You can see us in all kinds of frames. I don't care how you do it. We just want you to do it and roll over there. Drop a little super chat, aka Portress Bucks. And, we'll read that out on the air here as well. So we really appreciate all of you. And get on that hype train. If you're on mobile there and everything, swipe over, hit hit that hype button. They have hype leaderboards and all this kind of crap. It's an easy way to get small channels like this one out there to more people. And that's what we'd like to see. More of you fine, dirty babies in here.
Please and thank you
for that one, man. We appreciate you. And if you really like this show, why don't you head on down to patreon.com/HMP. You get pre-show, post-show, and Dinger Zone. Be one of the dirty babies over there. We really appreciate all of those fine people for their continued support month after month, year after year at this point. And you guys are so awesome, and we really appreciate it. And then we look to our Patreon people for Christmas movies, Christmas ideas and stuff for us to do this year. And Applescruff came in, real clutch with this one and everything. So again, thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. We really appreciate you guys. You the best, you the best.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for spending time with this. It makes it more communal. Sometimes when we're doing a show, it can feel like you're just talking into a void. So yeah. Thank you for the responses. It's been awesome. It really has been.
And the best part about the Patreon here is there's not like a whole bunch of levels and stuff. It is literally whatever value that you get out of this show, put that back into a dollar form, send it our way. If that's $1, if it's 20 on up, whatever it is, send it our way. You get stuff in return and you feel great about yourself and we feel great about you. Thank you so much. Patreon.com/HMP. Love you so much.
Let's say you have an old RV that you don't want anymore and it's perfectly working. That's good too. We'll take that.
Listen, I got the space for it in the back. I could throw an
RV.
Do
you really?
I could throw an RV in the backyard. Yeah, I'm almost
as long as you tell the
conversation.
Just tell the IRS you donated it to Cars for Kids and you might even get a tax credit.
Yeah, I got cars and there's kids. Sure, why not?
Our commercials are way less offensive than theirs. They have the worst commercials ever.
Yeah, those kids don't play those instruments. That's bullshit.
Thank goodness I haven't listened to the radio in a long time, so I haven't heard one of those in a while.
No, it's commercial TV too. They've got the actual television commercials. It's worse than the radio ads, which is something to believe.
If you had any love of sports at all, Bruce, like you would know they are there.
No,
they are there.
Brainworm, you locked in there. You don't want none of that.
But the worst kind, like the one that you hated immediately, and then it's locked in there anyway. It's the worst.
Alrighty, boys. Here is the IMDb plot line for While You Were Sleeping from 1995. As we know, IMDb always 100% correct in everything they say and or do. A subway clerk falls for a comatose man's brother. Well, son of a bitch, if that ain't this movie.
Boom.
Quick, succinct, to the point. There's no fat on it. They're just like, that's what the movie is. Just take it. Just go. This was written by Daniel G. Sullivan, who wrote, let me check my notes here. Oh, Just While You Were Sleeping. That's it. And and we also have Fred LeBeau, who, by the way, he wrote this. And let's see, what else? Nothing. Oh, wait a minute. He did a show called, what you call it? It was kind of a knockoff of Candid Camera or something like that. It's pretty bad. But Fred did come in and rewrite Daniel Sullivan's screenplay here for While You Were Sleeping, because essentially it has the ampersand in between. So you have the one guy and the other guy. The ampersand is the other guy. He rewrote enough to where, he got half credit for this whole thing. He did write. Yeah. So that was 4 episodes of a show called Anything for Money in 1985. It's Kmart version of Candid Camera. He didn't write anything else, but Fred did act once as a character named Sideburns in a movie called Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town from 1989.
I've got an idea for our January theme.
This is directed by John Turtletub, who directed 3 Ninjas, Cool Runnings, Phenomenon with John Travolta, and of course, modern day classics, National Treasures 1 and 2. This is starring Sandra Bullock, Bill Pullman, Peter Gallagher, Peter Boyle, Jack Warren, Glynis Johns, Jason Bernard, and Michael Rispoli. Boys, it'd been a minute since I'd seen this movie, but I knew I had seen it. I remember enjoying this movie. I'm going to do I'll spill a little beans here early. I can't believe how much I really enjoyed this movie and how much it was just like, wow, this is pretty damn good.
Sometimes formulas are there for a reason, man.
Yeah.
This is a very, very by the numbers, like, you know, everything, that nothing is a surprise watching this movie. You've seen this movie 1,000 times with 1,000 different actresses and actors. You know, right on down to old lady says funny line, like, you know, has the funny one liner. They even have that. There is just one thing that sets this movie apart from any other romantic comedy, and that's Sandy. Like, Sandra Bullock, there is something so magical about her, especially in 1995, where, you know, there are other people in this movie who are better looking than her, but by God, your eye just goes to her immediately, no matter what she's doing, no matter what the scene is. You instantly really, really like this lady. And I understand that's why she's a gigantic movie star. Like, you can't help it. This movie is not good, but she's great in it, even though you've seen it 1,000 times. When Harry Met Sally is a far, far better romantic comedy than this is. And it doesn't matter, because this is Sandy, and Sandy's way more fun than Meg Ryan. And so that's kind of that's the special sauce of this movie. Like, I don't like, look, I said to you guys during our Spaceballs review, is Bill Pullman good looking? And it's the same story here, where, like, from scene to scene, he's such a two-face that you're like, is that the best looking man I've ever seen? And then the next thing you're like, oh, that guy looks like he runs like the comic book shop and has and says awful things about women. Like,
there's a couple of angles that he doesn't look well from, and I think you're right. There's a couple of times where it's like they shoot him in just such a way where you're just like, oh, that's not the good. And but there's other times where you're just like, that may be the most handsome man ever. Look at that dude.
It's like the perfect solution for Hollywood when they want to cast an everyman, but they need to bring in the ladies who want to see that sweet, sweet beefcake. So they found their guy. A little bit for the men, a little bit for the ladies. Just depends on how you light him and where you shoot him from.
Well, the thing about Pullman in this movie is that gorgeous box truck that he has. That box body Chevy that he's driving around. Get out of here. That thing is gorgeous.
So that chair in the back of that box truck that she was fawning over and that kind of became a central thing was his furniture making prowess. Were you guys impressed with that chair?
No, but the styling of the time, you know, like that is it's a pretty cool chair.
Was the style electric chair? Because that's what it looked like to me. It looked like
Boom!
an electric chair. I was like,
boom.
What?
It looked like the kind of thing.
Like, I was surprised because I thought for sure this is an electric chair.
It's like the kind of thing that you're just glad your uncle gave up some other bad habit and took up woodworking. So you're trying to say, oh, it's actually a chair. I can tell by looking at it that it's a chair. I sit in it. It holds me up. I'll be damned. You actually made a functioning chair. And now he thinks he needs to be the world's best chair maker.
He ain't doing meth no more. Just leave him be. All right. He's doing something.
Hey, he's not hurting nobody. We got to get rid of the wood.
It's kind of a weird plot. It's kind of a weird plot line too, because you think there's going to be this big moment where he's got to tell dad he doesn't want to run the furniture business, right? And there's the great there's the great Dunkin' Donuts scene. Everybody loves Dunkin' Donuts, so he shows up at Dunkin' Donuts because, you know, people bond over Dunkin' Donuts. And he puts the Dunkin' Donuts right in the middle of the table, and it's right in the middle of the scene, in the middle of the picture. Because it's Dunkin' Donuts, and everybody loves Dunkin' Donuts, and everybody knows that to be true. And as they're bonding over these Dunkin' Donuts, he says, Dad, I don't want to run the furniture business. And Dad says, no, that's all right. Let's just enjoy some Dunkin' Donuts together. And when that happens, you're like, oh, so this whole thing has been leading up to them just enjoying Dunkin' Donuts, which I totally understand.
This movie is lousy with Dunkin' product placement.
Everyone loves Dunkin' Donuts. Everyone.
And it's true. I mean, I don't disagree at all. But
I do want to pose a question, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just from a storytelling perspective, isn't there just a little too much overlap in the family business and what he wants to do? Because I kind of think that the compromise solution is not that far away for either father or son to make this work.
Oh,
like, it needs to be.
You're saying that dad and son should sell those chairs to people, kill those people, and then get said chairs back and then sell them again.
Exactly. No, that's way beyond what I thought, but it would work.
That's the sequel. While
What
you were
you need-
peeping.
You need the family business to be like, we melt down scrap metal and sell it as pig iron on the open market. But the son says, I really want to bake my muffins. Like, that's the kind of conflict I need when a father and son don't get along.
Look, I don't mean to pull worst improviser ever card here, but like I kind of like the fact that it's so close to what the family business is, because it makes sense. Like, it doesn't make much sense if a guy who's been working in the scrapyard is like, but I want to be a dancer. Like, you know, these, like, I understand that is a very, very common movie trope, or like, you know, even something like High School Musical is like that. Like, listen, yeah, I play basketball really well, but I really want to be an actor. You know, like stuff like that. Like, doesn't, like, that's not a real thing that happens in real life. Whereas I kind of like the fact that it's like, yeah, that makes total sense. A guy who's been around furniture his whole life thinks that he can make a better chair than the chairs that they pull out of dead people's houses. Like, that totally makes sense. And I kind of like that about it.
I just don't see any conflict.
No, you're right. And that's kind of the problem. And that's why you have to save the scene with Dunkin' Donuts, because when there is no actual conflict resolution that needs to happen, then you're just watching two dudes just enjoying a box of Dunkin' Donuts, as we've all done.
What you need is
violent has ever happened around any Dunkin' Donuts ever. So
that's true.
You're
the dad's really old fashioned, and he refuses to sell any furniture to Irishmen. So his son has the idea that he wants to open the doors to everybody, both regular people and Irish people.
Regular and Irish.
And that's where the conflict. Now that I could get behind. And it turns out Sandra Bullock is Irish.
I do think that having Jack Warden play a Jew in this movie is pretty interesting, especially for the time. Because 95, you know, like, oh, I'm surprised that this Irish Catholic family let you into their family since you are a Jew. And look, that might not seem like a big deal to you guys. I come from an Irish Catholic family. That is a very big deal. Like, that is something where, like, Irish Catholic people aren't huge into, like, oh, and then this Jewish person is going to come in. Like, that is not something that happens, that at least back then happened very often. I'm sure it's different now, because all Irish Catholic people are great now, as we know, as is Dunkin' Donuts. But like like having him play an old Jew, and he's been ingratiated into the family, is a pretty big deal. It's cool.
And he looks all like Albert Einstein too. Like, that's the thing I kept thinking, was he would make a great, just like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure version of Einstein.
Man, Jack Warden missed it, man, because he would be amazing as Albert Einstein. I've got something very cool about Jack Warden. My dad's favorite show in the 80s was this show called Crazy Like a Fox.
I watched that show.
And the reason why he loved that show so much is because, hot damn, did Brian love himself some Jack Warden. He thought Jack Warden was the funniest human being in the world on that show. And he was very, very upset when they canceled that show. But my Lord, I had never heard that man laugh that hard as he laughed at Jack Warden watching that show.
Crazy Like a Fox is a TV show that I had no active memory of, but as soon as you mentioned it, you unlocked like a flood of memories. I remember like this really exotic sports car, and this young guy with it
was a Coyote.
Some permed hair, driving it around. And Jack Warden,
right.
I don't know what he was doing, but he was doing something.
He was the guy's dad. The main character's dad. And Jack Warden always got in all kinds of scrapes. And the son would be like, "Dad, you're doing it again." And he'd be like, "What are you gonna do? You know, Crazy Like a Fox."
And what did you say the car was?
A Coyote. It was one of those cars that was like a kit car.
Okay,
you built in your driveway.
It did not look like anything I could readily identify brand wise.
We had a neighbor who had one, and that's why I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jack Warden's one of those people that, like, you know, I was watching this performance and you're just like, man, could this be like in his top 5 performances? And then you forget that he's in 160 things.
He's in so much.
He's amazing in all of them, including like Matt said in the chat here, 12 Angry Men, which he's like juror number 7. The guy that's
he's awesome in that.
wants to go to the baseball game and everything. For those of you that'll get that reference there, he's amazing, and again, he brings a gravitas to this and a comedic timing and stuff like that. He's somebody that does great with both comedic stuff and serious stuff as well.
Yeah, he mixes them both well too. Like just think of him in Heaven Can Wait. Like,
oh yeah,
he's really good in that movie. I mean, it's not like Warren Beatty's giving him a lot to work with, but he's still great in that movie.
Warren Beatty just sleepwalking through that flick.
Man, look, I'm just gonna be super handsome. Look, I'm gonna be Burt Reynolds in this movie, basically.
Listen, I'm just wearing a sweatsuit. I don't want to come to work in anything that's too much.
The hair is perfect. The acting performance is fine.
Occasionally, I get to be Warden's character when I play Heaven Could Wait at my grandpa's driveway.
So real quick here, just so we can kind of get the super round basics of While You Were Sleeping for those that didn't see it, because the IMDb is so concise there and everything. Sandra Bullock works at the Chicago Transit Authority, and just taking subway tokens and everything like that, which I guess still was a thing in 1996.
That's so cool, though. It's weird how rapidly things changed, and even how much more rapidly kind of forgot how recent it was.
Yeah. So she sees, first of all, I will say this though, it's something that I've always kind of liked about Sandra Bullock is that like she's a good looking lady, but she's not so good looking that she feels like she's like from another planet or something like that. She looks like somebody that you could, especially at this age and everything, she looks like somebody you could just walk and meet at a store or something like that. She has that kind of every girl look that and we'll talk about it a lot, because this whole movie, it's as formulaic and everybody says it's a romantic comedy. This is a screwball comedy. If it's in
it's fun.
Sandra Bullock,
very specifically screwball, the way that we put one thing on top of another, on top of another, on top of another. This is screwball all the way. And she's very kind of Katharine Hepburn in a lot of ways, where she's a little bit brassy. She doesn't take too much guff from people and everything, but she has enough of a sensitive side that she can, pull back and everything with it. It's really great.
That's excellent. That's an excellent pole portrait. This really is. I mean, it's almost like one of those like madcap romps from the 50s, really. Like that's really what it is, just in modern clothing. I had not put that together. That is exactly what this is.
Bill Pullman is essentially Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah.
And Peter Gallagher is Cary Grant, right? Yeah. So that's the guy that was going to be, and it totally works out. And again, they have like the great old people in there and everything to have their little moments, their little lines and stuff like that. Again, the nurse showing up at the end of like at the wedding and whatnot and stuff like that. Like that's great screwball comedy stuff there. And like, that's what I loved about it. It's just like, it seemed like they were like, we're taking Howard Hawks stuff and we're running with it.
And like the interpersonal relationships on the people, and some of the comments and the way they interacted even feels like something as recent as Christmas Vacation. Like once you say screwball comedy, it's starting to unlock a lot of comparisons I hadn't seen.
What I remembered about this movie incorrectly is that I remembered it as that Sandra Bullock was lying about the situation instead of the situation being foisted upon her. I remembered that part wrong. And I think that's why I thought this was a better movie than what it actually is because the character is far more interesting if she's a liar. Yes. But she's not actually lying. Like everyone else is assuming things about her, which again is a screwball comedy. And if she lets the truth be known, the old lady's going to die of a heart attack because she's had 4 episodes.
It's a great little thing to hold over us to say, hey, listen, this is why we can't do any of the things that you would think that we could obviously do. What a great get out of jail free card.
Very, very I am thoroughly impressed at your pull here, Portress. That is a great observation. Bruce, it seemed like we kept cutting you off. What were you trying to say earlier?
I was going to say that one of the secret ingredients with Sandra Bullock, what makes her so appealing, is she has the perfect sort of look for the person who has no idea how pretty she is. That kind of character, like she's perfect for that. Right.
And I think this is where a lot of dudes run into trouble is that someone who looks like Sandra Bullock is not going to be by herself alone. and just pining after someone that she can't she can't obtain because he's just too handsome. And so guys in real life see someone who looks like Sandra Bullock, and they're like, clearly what this lady is missing is me. So that is where ladies run into the issues all the time. It's like, if you are a good looking lady, but you seem like someone that is approachable, that's the worst kind of pretty you could be, because those are the girls who have the most shit that happen to them.
You know, I frequently get mistaken for Louis Anderson and get seated really quickly.
So
right.
If it's okay with you guys, I wrote some notes, like going
let's hear.
And like,
I'm sorry. Well, I do want to get into the notes, but let me just finish the quick little.
Please.
Here. So Sandra Bullock works at the transit authority there and everything.
Right.
She sees Peter Gabriel. He pops by every time and just kind of gives like a little like, yeah, here's your token, bye bye, and then he runs off. And then on Christmas Day, Gallagher, I keep saying that I'm going to continue to do that wrong. I wrote it wrong. I say it wrong. It's going to be bad.
It's a big time error.
Well, thank God. Your eyes.
He's asleep. I'll get my boombox. Don't you think I won't? He sees her all the time. Doesn't really say anything, but on Christmas he says "Merry Christmas." Runs out to the platform to catch the train there and everything, but gets stood up by some hoodlums who take some stuff from him and throw them on the train tracks there, which you would think Christmas. Which you would think doesn't and possibly couldn't happen, but still to this day happens more than you would think. Because sadly, sad state of affairs we live in here. But old Sandy sees this and is like, "Oh snap!" and then jumps off, tries to get him away. I do again. Great screwball comedy stuff. She's jumping. I was like, "Oh, you smell good," and stuff like that. Just great. Hey, the train's got like perfect lines and just as dumb as all that is. And this tiny woman somehow grabs this man who I'm going to say, we'll call him 180 pounds just to give him a little bit of something. She pulls his ass over there. I don't think so, buddy boy. I don't think so. But I like it. It's fine. I'll live with it for what it is and everything. So he's in a coma, and at the hospital there and everything, she basically just kind of says, I'm engaged to him or something like that. And the nurse overhears it, shares it with a family, and then everything snowballs from there.
And she conveniently finds out he only has one testicle. So she does have that to really seal the deal. Because come on, who's not going to believe you if you know that little detail?
Right. Which I think is perfectly placed in the script, to be honest with you. Like, I think when I say paint by numbers, the script is so paint by numbers. It is, and it's formulaic because the formula works. The formula worked for 20 years. So like, yeah. But that little nug is dropped in there, and you're like, and of course, that's Chekhov's missing testicle. Like, that's going to come up later. You know it is, but it's just so perfectly placed, you know?
If a testicle goes missing in the first act, it must show up in the third. That's how you know you have a perfectly placed testicle.
Peter Gallagher, I'm back and I'm angry.
So, that's the sequel. It's like Pac-Man trying to eat the whole world.
So I have notes, but the notes are so randomly made because with this movie, your mind tends to wander, right? Like, because there's no surprises. Like, Portraits. Right off the bat, my first note is that I think I know what your favorite joke in this movie is, and I think it's right at the top. And I think it's when Sandy is reminiscing about old Pa, and she says, I remember this moment, but I don't remember it being so orange. Is that your biggest laugh in the movie?
No, I thought it was clever enough. I was just like, it made me wonder where that came from.
That's such a Portracy joke where, like, like fourth wall breaking. It's just so Portracy to me.
You're not wrong.
Right. Next thing up, because they got Sandy going to that hot dog vendor no less than 3 times in this movie. In real life, in the past 40 years, how many hot dogs do you think Sandy Bullock's eaten? Like, really?
I'm gonna be honest. Does she have to finish the whole hot dog, or does it count if she takes a couple bites and then throws the rest away?
Well, I mean, we all know that she probably had to do that for some commercial in Japan. Right. Like, that's probably the way that actually happened. I mean, for real,
personal life hot dogs.
personal life eating a hot dog.
Definitely none. Zero.
Yeah. What do you think, Porches? Because you were about to say something.
Well, I think that, well, my first initial thought was, I think it's strange. I could be wrong here, but I feel like this is not the only movie with which Sandra Bullock eats hot dogs.
Uh-huh.
I don't have any follow up. I'm not real. There's no evidence to my knowledge that's right at hand, but something about it just makes so HMPers getting on that. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I bet
feel
you
like she's eating a hot dog in another movie or two.
I bet you she gobbled some glizzies in Heat.
It's
the
possible.
Heat or whatever it's called.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
She probably does. She probably does in that movie. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't like. It's not. I don't see her. Yeah, no hot dogs on this one.
Any hot dogs in Gravity? I can't recall.
Yeah, they're called space dogs.
They stop for some space dogs. I do like how at least at the first there they give Chicago a little bit of clout with the the full Chicago dog there that homie's making up there and everything. No one else eats one of those. Even the people from Chicago clearly are like, I just mustard, thank you.
Yeah. So
another Chicago dog, you can get that shit out of here. No, thank you.
Another one of those moments where it's the locals lying to the tourists, like, "Oh, no, we love this casserole that's flavored like pizza."
An entire cucumber on my hot dog. Of course, I like that.
Of course, that's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
It's like the Pimanti Brothers sandwich in Pittsburgh. Like, no one from Pittsburgh actually loves Pimanti Brothers. Like, let's have a sandwich with all this crap on it. No one's like, "Oh, that sounds great. Let's go get one." Like, no one's like that. Anyway, moving forward, I can go on and on all day about that.
I'm just so happy to have you talking food for a change, Sean. Because in West Virginia, we love pepperoni rolls. So that's a case where the stereotype is true.
It's on our flag.
So the next thing I want to bring up is that Sandra Bullock looks so young in this movie, like younger than you remember her being, to the point where she even has like young people acne on her face that young people get. And it just threw me just how young she looks in this thing. I mean, I don't know her actual age. I didn't do the math on it, but she looks so young in this movie to me.
The one thing that I noticed in this that maybe I'd never really quite noticed before, but they shot her a lot from the particular her left side angle there and everything. I never really noticed the scar on her eye there and everything. I never really quite noticed that, but it kind of was a little prominent in this film, and I was like, "Well, son of a gun, how about that?" I guess I never all these years.
Next thing is Bruce. I gotta. This is where you come to the play.
All right.
So, a couple of years ago, I was working on a project where it was set in 1995. And no matter what references I got from like actual real life, none of the reference photos that I kept getting from people were of 1995. It was always either later or before that, but never 1995. So I watched a bunch of movies from that time, and one of them was While You Were Sleeping, because I remembered, oh right, he's in a coma. They're in the hospital a lot, and they're not in it as much as I thought they were, but they are in it more than most movies in 1995. And I remembered thinking to myself at the time watching it for reference, that like there is a very real possibility that this is all Hollywood gobbledygook. And I have to ask you, how much of this rings true to you for what you see in the hospital scenes in this movie?
Nothing. I mean, especially in 1995, Hollywood did a really, really poor job of portraying hospitals and inpatient scenes and medical scenes in general. And it's kind of crazy because this is post ER, where they did at least have like curtains rather than walls and doors, like make it actually look like real healthcare facilities look. So in a post ER world, you're kind of surprised, but it's a rom-com. They want to make it look more like Scrubs was not quite out yet, was it? So
No.
they didn't really have anything to go by that was realistic and still lighthearted. So I can see why they went back to more like sitcom style hospitals rather than something more realistic.
Okay.
Bruce wanted blood spurting everywhere. That's what he wanted.
Yeah, this looks like the kind of hospital in an episode of Friends or something.
Well, I didn't win an Emmy for my work, so
Well, I mean, I didn't
either,
so we got that in common.
That is good to know. Next thing up is Joe Jr. Says to Sandy's character at one point, I got us tickets to the Ice Capades. Have either of you ever been to the Ice Capades?
I haven't, but I kind of wish that I had. It's one of those things that now in retrospect, I wish I could like say, oh, I'd been to the Ice Capades, or even better, like Sesame Street on Ice. That was one I always wanted to go to.
I did that when I was a little kid.
But I've never been to any of the on ice events.
Nor have
Janet
I.
Jackson ask us to go to a bunch of Ice Capades? Oh, wait.
Say what?
I said, didn't Janet Jackson invite us to a whole bunch of Ice Capades?
I don't know. Oh, I see.
There you go. Okay. All right,
the reason why I ask is that they had to have been popular enough because they were around forever when we were kids, but then they just went away one day. Like there was no more Ice Capades ever again. And I'm with you, Bruce, where you're like, you know what? That could have been a moment where, like, for 2 hours, I'm completely annoyed and bored and everything else because it's pre-cell phone, so you can't even look at a phone. Yep. You're just watching skaters capade around. But the thing is that you'd have the stories afterward of, guess what? I went to the Ice Capades. It was amazing because this is what happened there. It's the same thing that I went through with my ex-wife when we went to Vegas and Charo like had a show. And I was we need to go to this because there's only so much time you're going to be able to see Charo live. And she was like, absolutely not. I'm not doing that. I was like, listen, is it going to be difficult to see it? Probably. I don't know. I don't know Charo enough. She's an amazing guitarist for sure. But is it an hour and a half, 2 hours long? Yes. Is it going to cost us way more money than we're willing to spend to go see something that's sort of like just for the story? Probably. But we should do it because it's Charo, man.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't do it.
We're the last group of guys that remember variety show guest stars that like got famous just for being variety show guest stars. So
right.
Yeah,
everybody thinks that the pre-internet was a bigger deal. It's not. The biggest deal is that if you thought that there were people who had no talent before who were famous, you have never watched a game show from the late 70s and early 80s where literally you just had to and this guy wears a wacky hat and he's just on every single not sitcom but game show ever.
But back to your question about the Ice Capades, something that it kills me more than anything else in entertainment is like the death of the live show in your town. You know what I mean? The circus doesn't even come to most towns nowadays. And it's like the kind of stuff that you could still afford. Like these arenas, it's all just concerts. It costs $500 a ticket or something crazy like that. And I just miss the days where it's like Harlem Globetrotters this weekend, Ice Capades the next weekend. You didn't even like have to buy your tickets ahead of time. You could get up on Saturday morning and say, we got nothing to do. We'll go get them at the box office and check out whatever this traveling show is that's in town this week. And I just miss the kind of live entertainment that I didn't take advantage of enough when we were younger.
And that's why you got to go to punk shows. It's $16 and you get to sing into the microphone. I
was going to say that music is about the last bastion of that, but it'll probably shrivel up at some point too. But that's maybe why I enjoy the whole local theater thing so much. Why I liked the whole open mic stand-up thing. It was like a place for things to be done that you don't get to do much in our modern life.
It's true. You're not wrong. That is a good way to look at it. My last note is, and I was reading up on this, and I don't know how true it is, but this is the note that I wrote down, and then I have a caveat to it, which is that the stunt work in this movie is incredible. Like the guy on the bike throwing the newspaper,
I swear to you, I watched that and I'm just like, that had to be real. That kid hit that shit way too hard. It was
we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that in a minute. Or the person who's on the ice at the beginning of the movie and just eats shit right at the beginning of the movie. That is an amazing stunt, right? That looks incredible. And then even when you see Peter Gallagher fall onto the tracks, the subway tracks.
Yeah.
That is an amazing stunt also. A movie like this generally doesn't have that kind of stunt work on it. Well, I looked it up because I was like, who is the stunt team on this movie? This is amazing. And I don't know how much I believe this, but apparently the kid who falls off the bike, that is a real eat shit moment that they just happen to be filming. And they say that actor... They say that actor broke his wrist on that take. And so that is a real life accident that happened, and they just filmed it and they kept it in the movie.
And you get lucky every now and then. Lightning can strike twice.
And the same with them setting up a camera at the ice rink is that is also real. That person falling over and falling flat on their back. Like, that was a hard fall, man. They say that's real too. Now, I don't know how much I believe that, just because it's so perfectly shot. But maybe they got lucky twice. That totally might have happened. I don't believe it. I would need to hear from someone who worked on the movie, like in real life, in order to believe that.
Well, old Turtle Tub there, like, he had enough action films under his belt and whatnot, so he's got
bad
some
ones.
Liberties. Well,
he worked on some bad movies, man.
Are you telling me that Three Ninjas is a bad film, sir? How dare you?
I'm sorry. I know that's your youth, but my God, yes.
No, listen, even as a child, I knew that was bad.
That's where he got all his experience with stunt choreography and fight choreography.
Three Ninjas.
Yes.
But he didn't do the sequels like with Mr. T and whatnot, so I don't know how well it really counts, because it kind of fell apart after,
Yeah, I know the guy that wrote the Three Ninjas comic book tie-in.
Listen, keep your bragging down, all right? We already got enough yours as it is. Don't need that anymore. My God. Peter Gallagher, for somebody, see, I got it right that time. That was an accident.
Good job, Portress.
He is. I remember, obviously him being in a coma for the majority of the film. I did not remember how good he is once he wakes up. He's really killing it. He's doing a really great job for, what he's asked to be doing in this movie, which is just to play, this kind of dumbfounded guy who goes, I remember everything, but I don't remember the woman that you say that I'm engaged to. And he's a great stupid character because he's also malleable enough to just, hey, this is what you got to do. Get your life together, damn it. And he's like, maybe I should get my life together. Maybe I am being a bit of a goober this entire time. Maybe this is a good time for a fresh start. I thought that was a good angle for him to kind of go at. And again, informs more about who the character is and whatnot.
He's definitely a rom-com stereotype or trope character there, though, because he's the hyper competent, incompetent person. You know what I mean? Like the high achieving person who's also like a child who needs to be taken care of, so that you need that Hallmark lady to move in and show him the country life's better than his city life or something like that.
Are you telling me that this movie is done by the numbers? I don't believe it.
It's done by the numbers, but they accidentally skipped one. So it's like if you ever did the connect the dots in ink and you realize you missed a dot, then you get a duck that looks a little lame.
The thing about putting Peter Gallagher in this movie is that because he's also played just such alpha pricks also in movies, he's kind of the perfect casting for this, because you need to know without him doing anything that he is not a great person. When you learn that he's not actually all that great, it's not big shakes, because it's Peter Gallagher. Peter Gallagher's a prick. And so like, I'm actually responsible for those squirrels being hurt in the first place. And then I felt bad about it and had to save them. Not hard to believe.
It would have been great if it turned out he was trying to rob those two guys that shoved him under the tracks. He was actually trying to rob them, and they shoved him out of self-defense.
They just got the better of him in self-defense, and we're just like, we're out of here.
I keep wanting to make the people in this movie worse than they are, like the characters worse, just because it makes for a more fun movie. Like, you know, like it's just way more fun if everyone's rascally, you know, but they're not.
Peter Boyle is one of those guys I just can't get too much of. Didn't we have him come up within the last couple months in something?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. He's been
he was in our Connery month.
Okay, that's right. He was the big bad. Big bad Boyle.
He is.
He's a guy, man. I can never get too much of him. Was my favorite part of the show everybody loves, Raymond. And I also really liked him in Young Frankenstein. So seeing him here in a movie, which I never mentioned this, but I hadn't seen this before. This is my first watch through.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
I tend to avoid rom-coms back in the 90s because, you know, we just got hit with a bunch of crappy date night movies that
I was going to say, where did you take your dates if you're not going to rom-coms?
Come on, dates. Give me a break. I was broke. I was in college.
That's why we went to movies, because they were so cheap.
Yeah, that used to be cheap entertainment back in the day.
I was watch Rockford Files and drink a 40 pour.
How else is a Tuesday going to roll, right?
I'm sorry. Is this not good enough for you, princess? I don't know why I'm not a hit with the ladies like I think.
I went from that to married in 2 years too, man. Big surprise that marriage didn't last.
We've all been there. All three of us have been there, my friend. All three of us have been there.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean you can't stand the look of me anymore?
Yeah, that's fair.
But you knew me for almost a whole week before we got married.
Didn't this add up? Again, I just did you guys recognize, because I didn't at first. I was like, where do I know this old lady from? The old grandma lady. Does anybody recognize it?
Do tell, mister.
She was the mother of the children in Mary Poppins.
Oh,
wow.
Who was going for women's suffrages and stuff like that. But yeah, once you see it, and like, she had a wild and crazy career in Hollywood and stuff too, and like good looking, like different looking, like she's good looking, but like in an interesting kind of way, like, you know, back in the early days and everything. Very cool. But like to see her and all these people in here, just these great old character actors, just absolutely murdering it in this movie, all doing fantastic jobs. Zero complaints.
Cool. So you want to get to the Christmas part of this?
Yes, let's get to our Christmas questions and find out if While You Were Sleeping is actually a Christmas movie.
Okay, for those of you who are just joining for the first time, because every podcast is somebody's first podcast.
Welcome.
The idea is this: every Christmas movie has to take this test. Yes or no questions. You get a point for each yes. If a movie gets a 5.5 or higher, congratulations, it's a Christmas movie. If it's lower than 5.5 yeses, it isn't.
And I've got the official piece of paper.
He's tallying it up.
Question 1.
No, I can't count. Go ahead.
Question 1, While You Were Sleeping. Number 1. Is Christmas the single most important element of the movie?
Single most, I'm going to say no. It is an important part of the movie. Single most, no.
I am going to echo Adam and say no as well.
As am I. I'm going to say no. I think it's very important, but I don't think it's the single most important.
It's a very good backdrop, but not the crux of said movie.
Right. Number 2. If it were any other time of year, would it change the movie? Bruce.
I'm going to say yes, because there's something about they don't want the grandma to die on Christmas that maybe they wouldn't mind if she was dying on Labor Day.
She didn't like working no house, so she kicked the bucket. We're happy about it, to be honest. Yeah, you could change it to any day and it would still work. You can write around a couple of things here and there, but it's, you know, it's neither here nor there. You could change it to Halloween and still make this work.
You're the decider on this point there, Shanzi.
totally disagree with you, Portress. I think that Christmas is absolutely integral to this movie.
Okay.
The reason being a couple of things. One, you're not hanging out with the entire family if it's a day other than like Christmas time. Like you're not spending a bunch of time with those folks. You're going to randomly see them like sporadically, but they're all cooped up in one place. And it's Christmas time, which makes her realize just how lonely her life has become. And so I think that that's also a very important thing in this movie. As I said at the beginning of our episode, also, the fact that they keep referencing back to her dad and how much she misses family and like that sort of thing, I think it's a very integral part to this movie. I think if you make this any other time of year, you don't get that to the level that this movie gets to. And so for me, number 2 is a yes. It would change the movie if it were any other time of year.
This movie works for what the kids these days are calling cuffing season.
Right.
We're hip around here, boy.
Number 3, other than props, set dressing, and soundtrack, can you tell it's Christmas, Adam?
Absolutely. They are Christmasing all over the place here. We're mentioning Christmas. Not only are you seeing it visually, that was one of the things, again, that I was kind of surprised about, having remembered back to this movie and everything. I remember it being kind of wintry. I remember, the basic plot of everything, but Christmas was not necessarily in there. So when we really start out barreling down Christmas Avenue and we continue the whole time, I was like, damn, this is a very Christmas involved movie, not only in just its backdrop for, set dressing and everything, but the actual stuff itself, very important.
Yeah, totally agree. Bruce, what you think?
I agree with everything Adam said. You definitely know.
Yeah, I agree also. I think that it's, as I was saying before, I think it's an integral part to Sandy's character in this movie, whose name I don't remember because I just know her as Sandra Bullock. It's Sandra Bullock and While You Were Sleeping. I can't even remember Lucy. Thank you. I
say Lucy 8 billion times. I'm like, I wonder if this character's name is Lucy.
Well, they have to, because you don't like. I still didn't remember her name. It's been a whole full 24 hours since I saw that movie, and I already forget it.
They cut out the scene where she pulled up the football before Bill Pullman could kick it, but that would have driven home what her name was.
Or some splaining to do.
So that's a yes for all of us on number 3. Number 4, do any of the plot lines deal with any of the core 4 meanings of Christmas: family, nostalgia, generosity, or hope? Bruce?
Oh, yeah.
I say yes. Family's a big one. You don't want grandma to die from a heart attack, and then hope of happiness and maybe not being single forever, that kind of thing for that poor, wretched, hideous looking Lucy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Adam, it's your turn. Sorry. You said yes.
Well, yes. Yeah. It's definitely. No notes.
Yeah. Me too. I think it hits family. I don't think this is nostalgic, except watching it now is nostalgic.
Yeah.
Because it's 1995, but that's what the viewers bringing to the table.
Not a cell phone in sight. God bless.
God, it must have just been. It was a glorious time. We didn't know we were living in the greatest time. We didn't know.
And it feels like it shouldn't be 30 years ago already.
But I know, man. But every time my kids have a birthday, I'm like, there's no way that's true. You couldn't possibly be that old, because I'm still 30, so I don't know how that happened. So yes, I with number 4, I am saying yes also, which brings us to number 5. Does Santa, someone dressed as Santa, make an appearance? Bruce Leslie.
I don't recall seeing a Santa, so I'm gonna have to say no.
Yeah, shockingly, not a Santa in sight. Not even like somebody like ringing a bell outside of a doorway or something like that. We don't even get one of those. Not even by the hot dog guy. Nothing.
It's true. It's true.
Stand there and everything. Somebody be ringing a bell, going, "Hey, Christmas."
Right, or when they're when Bill and Sandy are walking down the street there in Chicago, and you're like, you'd think there'd be a Santa there, but nothing.
Or a bum Santa that's like, hey, it's
Yeah.
it's jolly old Saint
Mhm.
Nick.
Not, you can't even have a bum Santa say something hilarious because you got to keep all those lines for the old lady.
Those are for her.
Those are her lines. Number 6. Does it feel like a Christmas movie, Adam Portress?
Yeah, it really does. I was shocked at how much it felt like a Christmas movie and continued to feel like a Christmas movie throughout the entire thing. When technically, we even passed Christmas.
Yeah.
We don't know about that,
It
but
ends on New Year's, right? It ends on New
yeah,
Year's.
like we almost kind of jump over Christmas as a day completely because that's when he's in the hospital at this or the next day, I guess. When he kind of is Christmas is that day though, right?
Christmas is the next day.
It's the next day.
Right. From him falling on the tracks.
Okay,
They established that he says he needs her to work tomorrow, and she says, "I won't work on Christmas Day."
Right.
See ya.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bruce, do you think so
Yes.
too? You think?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Like I was surprised, honestly. Like I was honestly surprised how much this feels like a Christmas movie. Because in my brain pan, having seen this at least twice before, it doesn't really register as a Christmas movie, but it really, really is one. Like from this point forward, if somebody asks me about this movie, I'm going to say that it's blah 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 blah, and Christmas will be one of the things that I say about it.
Yeah.
Number 7. Is this a movie you would only watch during the holiday season, Bruce?
No, I would say that it doesn't give me that weird can't watch it out of season feeling that a lot of movies do, like Rudolph or something. I could watch this in summer just fine.
Mm-hmm. Adam?
Well, this movie came out one day before my 12th birthday, so this was a spring movie itself. So I'm going to say that this movie can apply itself anywhere.
I weirdly, I'm going to say this is that I wouldn't have called this like a Christmas movie, and like not that I'm like oh, I can't wait to watch while you were sleeping. Like I don't have that drive to see this movie just on its own. But I think that if after seeing it this time around, I think that it's going to be part of the Christmas movie rotation. If somebody's like, hey, what's a good Christmas movie we can watch that we haven't watched to death while you were sleeping? That's a good Christmas movie. I think it's going to be part of the rotation for me now. I really do.
I think it's a good one.
Yeah, because you've got other stuff going on at Christmas, and so like you just want something that isn't going to be super highly annoying when the TV's on in the background. This is definitely one of those movies. Like this is not going to be anyone's favorite movie in my family, but it is one of those movies where like, oh, you know what, that wasn't so bad, like that kind of thing.
I don't know if it's in their selection or whatever, but like all through Christmas, my parents, they have like a giant stack of DVDs and Blu-rays that my dad's put together over the years of nothing but Christmas movies, and that's kind of
dude. You need to get a picture of that. Absolutely. You need to get a picture of that stack.
It's a big one. It's a big old giant stack and everything.
Awesome.
So, but I need to let them know about this one to put this in the collection. But oddly enough, this is very difficult to find on physical media. The DVD is expensive. The Blu-ray is non-existent. This needs a 4K. And honestly, I think it'd look good. I think it'd look nice. We need some Sandra Bullock and some high definition, everybody.
It's one of those weird movies too that it's only on Disney Plus, like that it's streaming on, and due to my love of siding with comedians all the time, I have killed my Disney Plus subscription, so I don't have it. So I actually had to like a caveman buy this on. And I was like, oh man, this is a movie I have to buy, but I did.
Hey, but it was only $4.99. It was on sale.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, not at all. But it was one of those things where I was like, damn it, you're siding with comedians all the time. Like, come on, this is starting to bite you. But I had to keep doing it.
I had to get some membership to some stupid crap that I'm gonna have to cancel like right away now.
Oh, really?
It was something like something via Amazon, but it sounded like an app for ladies. Quite frankly, it wasn't. It wasn't that specifically, but that's what it kind of sounded like. It sounded like women movies, and I'm just like, huh? All right, whatever. What the hell is this? I'll cancel this after the day, but But this needs to come out on something. Everybody, just figure it out.
Yeah. Number 8. Let's have Portraits take this one. Is this reasonably anyone's favorite Christmas movie?
Not reasonably. Again, we all know that there are crazy psychopaths out there, and there's going to be somebody who's a Sandy nut, and can't. And of my guess is, and I could be wrong. She's another one that like we need to look at and go like, how many Christmas movies you been in, girl? It's maybe not as much as yet, because again, that was another one. When I looked back at her filmography and stuff, I would have been like, I thought she'd have been in more things. Yeah. She's been in plenty, but you would, as prolific as she's been in everything, she hasn't been in a gajillion things. She doesn't have triple digits, under her belt.
Right. She's not like Eric Roberts.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Bruce, what do you think?
I think this movie is kind of like pepperoni pizza from a chain. Mm-hmm. It's fine enough. In most situations, nobody's going to complain about it, like you said, but you got to wonder about the person who says, oh, my all-time favorite pizza is pepperoni from Little Caesars. You know what I mean? It's like, it's fine. I don't care that you serve it to me, but don't try to convince me it's the best pizza on earth. So this is not anybody's favorite Christmas movie.
Yeah. What I always think about is I think about the girl in props that I work with, who The Shadow is her favorite movie. I just think about that, like, and she's not like, it's not ironic. Like it is literally her favorite movie, and it's because it was her family's movie. And so it makes her feel safe and cozy and at home. And like, I get it, understood. So there's probably people who this is that movie for them. While You Were Sleeping is that movie. But I think it's reasonable. Like, it wouldn't, if somebody were to tell you, my favorite Christmas movie is While You Were Sleeping, you would literally be like, it's what now? Like, that is a longer conversation. So yeah, I don't think it can reasonably be anyone's favorite Christmas movie.
Feeling safe with an Alec Baldwin. That doesn't think Hey, he's my okay.
Why don't you cozy up and watch some Alec Baldwin? I think I take my shirt off in this movie. Number 9. Does this movie make Christmas seem magical in some way? Bruce.
I'm going to say yes, it does. Like, love is in the air. What are the chances of watching an assault ending up with you meeting your life partner? And it's the brother of the assaulted person, and it comes via lying about the engaged. Yeah, there's magic. Takes Santa to pull off a miracle like what happens in this movie.
Yeah, it's a Christmas miracle, man. That no one is ending up in jail or stabbed or anything else like that. And for as long as they've been around, what an accepting old family. You wouldn't suspect, but sure enough, they're just like, you know what? We can see the good in this girl. She's fine. We'll let her date her other son.
I totally agree. And when you're at their house, their house is just so perfectly Christmas. It's not overly done, but you can tell that it was professionally done. It's pretty. It's pretty great.
When they are sitting around and opening up presents and everything, this is like, I watched that and I'm like, this is one of the most realistic versions of opening presents that I've ever seen on film. It looked and felt like how people are opening it and saying thank you, giving the little kisses and stuff. It was just like, it felt so real. I really, really like that.
Yeah, me too. Last one, number 10. Could this movie reasonably fill someone with the Christmas spirit, Bruce?
This is a tough one. I'm gonna say yes, because there's some component of opening your doors to somebody without family this time of year. So yeah, I'm gonna say yes.
All the way with me, yes, 100%. This actually got me a little Christmas spirity today. I'm not going to lie to you. I was just like, you know what? This kind of, you see enough little things in there, and you got her pulling up the tree through the window, which again, I'm just like, who's doing this kind of wacky stuff? But it's fun. Again, it's a screwball comedy, everybody. Yeah. It's I was surprised at how much it made me kind of like look forward to Christmas a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna say yes.
I am too, man. I think that this is another yes for me too. This movie, it's very surprising how Christmassy this movie is. When I've seen this movie a couple of times before, and I was surprised when this was on when this was on Applescruff's list of like this is a list of movies that could or may not be Christmas movies. And I was like, While You Were Sleeping is set during the holidays, and it totally is. I am so surprised with how much Christmas is in this thing. That's a yes for me, dog. Number 10 is yes.
I believe we got our hands on a Christmas movie, fellers. Bruce, what's the final tally here?
Here we go. So you got your music stinger portraits?
Oh wait, look, give me 1 second. Yep.
All right. And Bruce, do you have the total score?
I do.
All right. So let me know when you're ready, portraits. Because we're putting all of this together in real time, folks, because we're trying to be more professional about the way we do the show. And as we've learned over the course of more than 10 years, that's going to take some time. There's going to be some growing pains.
This is, of course, the most professional way that we can do it. Is like it's never too late to try and do it right. So we try to do it
right. Exactly.
We might as well start trying, right?
That's right. Decade 2, the decade we tried.
Okay. An hour and 6 minutes into decade 2.
All right. So the final Christmas test score for While You Were Sleeping is music stinger portrait.
Oh, hold on. Come on, fella.
Now is this a Christmas movie? Now is this a Christmas movie? Now is this a Christmas movie? Or is it slop?
Perfect. So
Bruce,
what is our final tally for
6.
the Christmas test? 6.
6.
So to the three of us, this is in fact a Christmas movie.
Indeed.
Adam, if we're not walking out of this episode with that music playing, we are doing it wrong. I don't care if you have to put that on a loop and we have to hear it 17 times. I don't care. That is the way we walk out of this episode. That's the way we walk out of every Is This a Christmas Movie episode.
Can do.
God, it's good. When you started with the singing punches, I was like, yes, yes, yes. We're getting there. We're actually getting there. I can't believe it. It only took 17 years of podcasting, but we are getting there, baby. We are getting there.
All right. Well, it's all come down to this. Bruce, what is your star rating and recommendation for While You Were Sleeping from 1995?
This movie was just fine for me, but it wasn't really more than fine. Sandra Bullock is really what makes it notable. But if you're just ranking the movie on the movie's qualities, I'm going to say it's a solid, inoffensive 3-star Christmas film. So I'm giving it 3.
All right. Sean?
I am going to give this movie 3 sandy hair ties. Because I think, it's one of the things that she's really good at in this movie is conveying just how out of sorts she is by messing with her hair. And I know that sounds ridiculous, and like the Sandra Bullock hair acting school. Let's get out of here with that. But like, it's kind of the secret sauce with her, and she's not like blowing her bangs out of her eyes.
She's in that bad boy.
She's messing with her hair constantly in this movie, and I love that about this movie. And like Bruce said, it is the secret sauce. So for me, this movie is 3 sandy hair ties. Adam?
I enjoyed this movie much more. Like I thought because I remember liking the movie when I initially saw it and everything way back when, and I've probably seen it a couple of times. Um, but as it kind of like started at the beginning, and then like when she's running to I'm like all of it kind of fell into place in my mind. I was just like, oh, this is good, and you knew all the beats that were coming, everything was there. But boy, oh boy, when there's a song on that you really like, you might have heard that song a million times, but boy, oh boy, if that song hits you at the right time, it's going to do some damage. And this movie did. This movie like really kind of killed it. I loved all the performances involved. And again, I saw this as a very kind of screwball comedy and stuff. And for that, it definitely, fits the mold quite tightly. Yeah. And I'm going 4 out of 5 stars on this one. I quite enjoyed a bit of it here and everything. So while I don't know that it's going to make a constant Christmas rotation, it's one that I feel that you could easily throw in as like, every couple of years as a little curveball in there. If you're somebody that watches those all the time, then you could easily toss this one in there and be like, oh yeah, check that out. That's not too shabby.
Nice.
So that is it, everybody. We got yet another review down and more good stuff here on the way. Bruce, in the meantime, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
You can always check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Bruce Leslie or @AnimeDad. And we got some movie reviews of our own going on over there.
And yes, do that, everybody, because here's what I really love about what Bruce is doing on his YouTube channel right now is that you get to, in real time, watch his wife just look at him with disappointment, like, why would you say something like this? It's so great. It's just like she does
live to tape.
She does what we all want to do, but yet she's your wife, so she can call you out on your shit a lot quicker than we can. So it's super nice to see. So do what you guys are having a greght time over there with all the Christmas movies and stuff like that, and I'm enjoying watching them. So
check out Silent Night, Deadly Night. I think it's our best video yet.
Nice. I just saw that one drop today. I'm just like, ooh, I can't wait to check this one out. So go check out that, everybody. The links are in the show notes for that. Sean, what else?
I many years ago was in a sketch comedy group, and I thought I had scrubbed everything off of there. When my daughters were going to, I was trying to get them enrolled in a Christian academy at the time, and I was like, they must never know my horrible secret. So I had everything scrubbed, I thought, from the internet, but no. There is some stuff on there. And in the last couple of weeks, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that this is still on the internet. I thought that because we were pre-internet, a lot of that stuff was pre-internet.
Yeah.
Like YouTube, not pre-internet, but
They had to draw their shows to remember them, kids. That's how long ago that was.
Pre-modern internet is where we started. And so some of that's on there. So go ahead, look, see if you can find it.
Keep an eye out. Let us know in halfassmoviepod@gmail.com. Check it out and let us know what you got there. Gumshoes.
You put in the right words, you're gonna find some of that stuff. It's not good, but you'll find it.
Why don't you go over to YouTube on Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern and check out TikTok Trash Tuesday. That's where I go to movie TikTok, pull out the movie-related TikToks, come back and talk about them. I don't know what they are. I only watch a couple seconds and I go, oh, this here movie-related, save, and then I come back and we talk about it live on air with you fine folks in the chat. And a lot of people that are in the chat are usually there out on that Tuesday night. So come and join us, won't you? We really appreciate you. I love you, love you, love you. That'll do it for this episode of Half-Ass Movie Podcast. Join us next week as we continue on with our Is This Christmas? With The Long Kiss Goodnight from 1996. Ooh, gonna be a good one. For Sweet Sean's Kovacs from the internet, Bruce Leslie, I'm Adam Portress, reminding you to get out there and watch the movies, you dirty babies. Oh, I'm sorry. Get out there and watch the movies, you dirty babies.
Now is this a Christmas movie? Now is this a Christmas movie? Now is this a Christmas movie? Or is it dumb slop?
So good. So good.
I wanted it to be even better than that, but it was just like, all right, well.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
It is so good.
Never, ever change that. Ever. I can't believe how much I love that. It's so freaking good, man.
It reminds me of a J.G. Wentworth commercial for some reason.
Oh,
It's
it
like
really
perfect.
kind of is.
Very
It kind of is.
Wentworth-esque. There's that's not wrong.
And you know, that's where our talent lies in those commercials. It's like right at that same level of talent.
Yes.
I totally agree.
Right, that J.G. Wentworth, track right there. That's what the
Mhm.
kids like.
That's right. That is where we're at. That's the same level of talent. All right, I gotta take a minute here, fellas.
Yeah, I need
Yep.
some water.
All right, so we're gonna top 5. We're gonna talk about some Sandra Bullock movies. All right, everybody. Quick break here, and we will be right back with you. If I could hit the right, where are we at? There we go. All right. All right. I hope everybody is holding together. Hold together, damn it. Let's see if we can get this. Why not? There it is. I was like, do I not have a dinger sound there? There we go. We almost got scared for a second. That's what a dog's head sounds like. Yeah. We got Bruce Zombie shirts available now. Or if you want them in sock form, fanny pack. We got all that. And it's on sale right now. In a myriad of colors. Fashionable, no?
Cardi bien.
Showing some of the fabulous options available at the HMP shop. Links in the description, everybody.
It's a beautiful piece of wardrobe right there.
I like that. Wait a minute. Let's do. Wait a minute. How was that? Oh, there we go. Let's do that. Let's do play it. Just a sec here. We'll. All right, here we go. Almost there. Cool. Let's rock and roll.
Sure.
Come on, dang it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Dinger Zone. My name is Adam. There's Sean.
Cowabunga, y'all.
And there's Bruce.
Heidi ho there.
Welcome, everybody. This is the portion of the show where we do our top five, or we sometimes do some other things, but we do a lot of top fives lately. And as we were banging around on what to do this week, we thought, man, oh man, we got a Sandra Bullock movie on our hands with what was the name of the flick we just saw while you were sleeping? I was just I knew sleeping was in there. I was like, the first two words were not like coming to mind right away there and everything. But we figured, hey, let's talk about our top five Sandra Bullock movies, as this lady has been entertaining us now for what are we looking at? 30 plus years over here. What a hell of a
30 now.
Entertainment, man. Oh man.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get it started with Sean. Or what's your number five Sandra Bullock movie? Everybody in the chat, throw yours out as well, and we'll do those.
Yes, please. If you have five favorites. So my number five is the Sandra Bullock movie that she is not the lead in, but it is the Sandra Bullock movie I've seen the most, and that is Demolition Man.
Oh yeah,
the Sylvester Stallone movie. There is something about her in this movie that makes this movie more watchable. I think that there is you're at Stallone almost cresting from the 80s Stallone, where he's just a monster on set and just the worst person to work with. And as somebody who was Gen X at the time, when Demolition Man comes out, you're kind of like, well, at least I was like, well, I like Wesley Snipes. I don't know who this lady is, but it seems like a pretty cool concept, and people whose opinions I'm trusting are saying this is a good movie. So I went and saw the movie, and I was blown away. It was like, how is this a Sylvester Stallone movie? I really like this movie. And so number five is Demolition Man for me.
Very nice. Gene Shalit, is that whose opinion you trusted?
The funny thing is that I don't think I've ever seen him review a movie. Like I never watched him at all. I was a Siskel and Ebert man myself.
Well, whenever school was on a 2-hour delay, I would always watch whatever Good Morning America, Today Show, whatever morning news show featured him. So I always kind of weirdly associated Gene Shalit with a nice little treat of getting to stay home from school. So he became my Gen X favorite movie reviewer, not because he's good, but because he has awesome hair and it meant it was a snow day.
All of his puns and everything. I just want to choke him.
I
hate it
you
so
can't
much.
be in any way surprised that I like Gene Shalit, Adam.
No
No
one's
one.
surprised by that fact.
Let me go
No
grab my
one is
bow
surprised
tie. I'll
by
be
it.
right back.
Hi, like that's my Gene Shalit impression without saying words. And just that's, oh boy, he's a little much. Bruce, your number what 5?
Number
Yes.
5 for me is a movie that sometimes I forget about, but when I think about it, it's one that I like more than other people seem to like, and that's Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. And I think that had Tom Hanks in it.
I know the title. I think you are correct. I don't
I
know
think
the
Tom
title.
Hanks was the father, but the father dies and leaves behind for the son like a little scavenger hunt around Manhattan just to give the son something to do so he doesn't fall into despair having lost his dad. Because the son, I believe in the movies, depicted as being on the autism spectrum, and he was really attached to his dad, and his dad knew that he had cancer, knew he was going to die, so he put this project for his son together to help him get out and meet people in the town because he was going to be lost without his dad. And Sandra Bullock, I believe, was the mama figure. But yeah, I like that movie.
It's one of those. Yeah, I've heard the name, but cannot say that I've seen.
I know almost nothing about it except for it deals with 9/11. That's all I know.
It's how my ex-wife liked to talk. Ha ha ha.
All right, my number 5 is a little movie that I don't think a lot of people see, but I have mentioned it many times throughout the last couple of years here and everything, because I think it is it's a good one that is worth seeing, and that's The Lost City from 2022.
You do talk about that a lot.
It's a lot of fun.
I was very intrigued by the trailers, but I have not seen it.
You got Sandra
right.
Bullock, you got Channing Tatum, and the bad guy is Daniel Radcliffe, and he's fucking
That's
awesome
great.
as the bad guy. He's really good. It's so much fun, and it's like it's that kind of Sandy comedy that you're looking for, and it's one of the great ones that she's done at an older age and everything, which is nice. She's continued to make these kinds of films. It's been pretty great.
And Brad Pitt once again plays like the real life guy who's tough, showing up the guy who's pretending to be tough, kind of like he did in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And he does it here with Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum.
I don't know why I always reverse names. He's not the only person I do that with.
Fortress Bucks.
Holy moly! Old Robert comes in with a hefty $20 and says, "The Heat."
Oh, that's her Glizzy Goblin movie, I bet.
You know what? Now that you mention it, plays a police officer. There may be some hot dog eating within that movie. Melissa McCarthy, listen, you put the two of them together sitting in New York City. If there's not a hot dog involved somewhere in that movie, I think they did it wrong. To be quite honest.
That movie might come up later. The Heat.
Are we back to Sweet Shanzi at number 4?
Wait, hold on. So we've got Matt goes for his number 5 was While You Were Sleeping. So he must have really enjoyed today's episode.
Nice.
And Alex has number 5 at Miss Congeniality.
Solid, Alex.
We had
pick.
I had another one here from a new chatter. Hi, new chatter. Wrong named. It says the net was good.
the net is good.
More right off the top.
The net is good in the way of like, oh, that's adorable. They think that's how the internet's going to work. Like that kind of makes it cool that way.
It's fun that way.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd say cool as much as I say it's kind of fun to watch how people got it wrong. And but no, if you enjoy watching the net, man, that's a good one. Good performances, just not the best at predicting the future.
Hey, listen, it's as on point with technology as Tron, okay? They're basically the same thing. It's just like, this is what happens in computers, okay? Shut up.
I'm still waiting to get Lawnmower Man someday.
Lawnmower Man 2. But
they're still making sequels to that movie, aren't they?
Probably. Listen, if they've made like, I literally think they've made 20 some odd Amityville horror movies. You can do whatever you want, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Amityville like Pool. I think there was like one of those or something like it.
A new Silent Night, Deadly Night comes out this Friday.
Wow.
It's not gonna be as good as the first 2. Come on now. How do you get
not
better?
Not gonna be as good as the first 5, I think.
All right. versus number 5 or 4. Rather. Excuse me.
Everybody wanting their garbage day. Everybody wants their garbage day. I
Well,
haven't
folks-
done. I haven't done my 4 yet, so I'll go.
Yeah,
ahead.
number 4, Sweet
All right.
Shanzi.
No. Go ahead, Bruce.
Well, number 4 for me, when everybody else is out there talking about Quiet Place, I was busy sitting at home watching Bird Box with a little Sandra Bullock in it. So number 4 for me is a Netflix film that I enjoyed quite a bit. Bird Box. I'm giving it the 4 spot.
All
Either
right,
you guys see
I've
Bird
never
Box?
seen it.
I didn't care for it. I mean, I didn't think it was bad, but I didn't like. Maybe people oversold it or something like that because I was like, oh, the Sandra Bullock movie on Netflix. I'm like, I don't really know how much because that was at the time when Netflix was still fairly early into doing their own content and everything. So I was like, I don't know about all this, and then I watched it after enough people were going like, no, this is really really great, and I'm like, if I had not seen it, if I had not heard those things, perhaps I would have liked it a little bit more. But it was one of those things, unfortunately, where they were just like, it's so good. I'm like, it's just all right.
I mean, it's a fun, high concept movie, but Sandra Bullock makes it fun. I liked Machine Gun Kelly was in it. So how often do you get to see Sandra Bullock and Machine Gun Kelly in a movie together?
Well, other than this time, I like that. Did you guys hear like him talking about supposedly this is what he says. He goes, I almost had a role in Sinners where he was going to be like the white vampire, like there at the beginning or whatever. And he's just like, but he wouldn't do it because like, did he have to say the N-word or something? Whatever it was, he wouldn't do it because it was just like, it was too much for his things. And everybody was like, you weren't really offered the role. It's just like come on there. You might have auditioned, but nobody was just like, you've got the role. I won't say the N-word. And then it's just like, well, we can't hire you then. Like, no, get out of here. That's ridiculous.
They wanted me to play twins in that movie.
I was thinking it was going to pull like a Tracy Jordan on us and say, I was almost in Rush Hour. Then at the last minute, they cast Jackie Chan instead.
That's a good one. That's one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Sean, number 4. I apologize.
My number 4 is going to shock the world. My number 4, this is a movie that I have a fondness for that I can't explain. That movie is Practical Magic. This is the movie where I was like, oh, Sandra Bullock is awesome. This is the movie. And the reason being is because at the time that Practical Magic came out, Nicole Kidman was literally like an event. I know that's hard to believe now. Nicole Kidman was in literally like whenever she did anything at all, like oh, Nicole Kidman, rah rah rah, right? Yeah. But Sandra Bullock is the best part of Practical Magic, and it's not even close. And she just blows the doors off of that lady. And I think that's why I love this movie is because I'm like, take that, Nicole Kidman, you dumb Scientologist. At the time, like clearly now, the lady has a lot of problems. By the way. Does anyone have worse taste in dudes than Nicole Kidman? Like just the worst taste in guys. Like, okay, so I get it. You don't want to be with a Scientologist anymore. You want to go against type. So you go with somebody who's just got a massive coke problem in 2025. What are we doing here? Come on.
To be fair, Sandy's had a couple of very strong misses herself.
Well, yes. The whole Jesse James thing, yes. But she got a type. That lady, she do got a type, and never will she stray from that. And I understand that. I have a type too, Sandy. They're all the pictures are pretty close to the same way, with different personalities.
I don't know.
I get it, Sally. I get it.
Hey, I like my women like my toennails, man. Thick and yellow.
Oh, boy. What are we on here? My number 4 was a movie that I didn't necessarily even think about this when we first started talking about the top 5 Sandra Bullock movies. But really, she is the star of this movie, and it all kind of rises and sets on her at the end of the day, even though her co-star, is the one that you think is going to roll through the whole thing. But Sandra Bullock is the key of Gravity. Mm-hmm. And she's super great in that movie. And again, it's one of those where it's like, it's just relying on her. Once Clooney is gone, it is all in her head and everything, her reactions to stuff. and you just I just buy it, even outside of like the crazy, one shot concept and everything like that. Even if you took all that kind of stuff away, it's still a very compelling movie, and another one that's like, even though it's, we're in the vast of space here and everything, we're still kind of in a voidy bottle, if you will. We've kind of bottle shipped us in the vastness of space, which is a wild thing.
You do love yourself a bottle anything, though. Movie, TV, man, nobody loves the bottle more than you, bub.
Keep them in a place. Don't let them leave.
You love that.
I haven't seen the movie Gravity, but I have read the novelization, and I'll say I wasn't impressed.
Is that it? I don't
know if that's a joke or not.
Those are always the best ones, I guess. I don't know. Wow, that's a ringing endorsement.
I'll tell you that much. Alex's number 4 is The Proposal. Definitely, like, it crossed my mind as making part of the list, as we did in HMP Volume 2 Episode 2. Really, really, really great, that one. I can't believe how shocked I was on that.
Yeah, it is surprising how good that movie is. Yeah.
Matt's got his number 4 at Speed. You may find that later in somebody's. Who knows? It's a
maybe.
This, I have a funny story about this one. Robert says his number 4 is Hope Floats. I saw Hope Floats on a bus on a school trip on a church trip.
That's a great way to watch a movie.
And it was not good. There is a little girl in that movie who is constantly crying. So if you are not watching this movie, all you hear is a little girl just bawling throughout the entire film.
That sounds unpleasant.
Good. I hate that movie just on account of that experience and everything. It might be a fine film. All I heard was a little girl crying for what felt like 5 hours.
Ringing endorsement.
Oh yeah. What are we on here? Number 3. Who wants? Bruce?
Number 3 for me is a movie that I had a lot of fun with. It had some of the same people that would show up later in Lost City. Sandy's part in the movie small, but it still counts, and that's Bullet Train.
Oh yeah, you love that movie.
I really do.
I know you do.
I thought it was okay.
Me too. I thought it was just fine.
I don't remember her in the movie, to be quite frank, though. Like, because when I looked at the filmography, I was like, let me see what movies we can choose from here, just to see if I've kind of forgotten any. And I looked at that and I was like, oh yeah, was she in that? I've totally forgotten what her role was, even despite it being short.
She probably is an FBI agent at the end or something.
I thought she was taking tokens at the train station.
This guy over here.
Same character, Newtown.
That's the spinoff sequel.
It's kind of like how Mr. Winslow moved from Los Angeles to Chicago. Well, this is, Sandy went from Chicago to Japan.
That's fair enough.
My number 3 is the movie Speed. I think she's great in it. I think this is the movie that would launch her to superstardom. She was in a bunch of stuff before that, but my God, man, after Speed, get out of here. She's in everything after Speed.
I'm just surprised you have Speed lower than Speed 2.
I like Speed a lot.
Started Speed 2, though.
I think that she is able to do something that is almost impossible, which is Hollywood figured out a while ago. If you don't give Keanu Reeves a love interest, the movie's going to do a lot better. And somehow Sandra Bullock is able to be Keanu Reeves' love interest in the movie, and it still works because she's just got that much charm inside of her. She's just great in Speed. I love her in that.
Great nervous Nelly.
Yeah.
Go, and because of course you would be. You're behind the speeding bus that you can't slow down. So of course you're going to be a little bit on edge.
Yeah. That's
my number 3 has been mentioned by the chat here, and that is The Heat. Mm-hmm. It was hilarious. It was one that I kind of like, for whatever reason, like all the elements were there. Things people aren't like me, not in this way at least. That like there's sometimes where it's just like you have all the elements together that make you think you should like this. This has all the things that you enjoy, but there's part of you that just goes harumph. No, I will not. And
that's way more a Portress thing than anybody else. But
it
yeah, I
should
know what
be.
you mean.
Yeah, so sometimes it's just like this is a speedball right towards you, and I'm just like, no, thank you. Thing that makes me want to like the thing that I should like. Well, how dare you do such a thing? It's up to me to figure out what I'd like. Huh? You're an idiot, Portress. It is what it is.
I don't like enjoying things. Get out of here.
Fuck you. I will hate things as much as I want. Thank you very much. So I will not watch it. But when I did, I was like, you know what? This was good. It didn't take me too long. I saw it in theaters and everything. So it didn't languish for that long, but I did enjoy it. And maybe it was one of those dang it, they got me again kind of things, because after a while, you go, how many Sandra Bullock movies is this? How many Melissa McCarthy movies is this? But son of a bitch, if they don't pull it off yet again.
Yeah. I totally agree with everything you just said, fella.
And that's my number 3, The Heat. Bruce, number 2.
Number 2 for me is.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I forgot the chat. Number 3 for Alex was All About Steve. I love bad movies. You do with that yours. How dare you? Robert says Force of Nature. I remember seeing that once and liking it, but I don't remember much at all outside of just kind of the elements portion of it.
Yeah, I can't remember anything about it either.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
All right, now we're on to Bruce. Go ahead.
All right, number 2 for me is a movie that's got a whole lot of criticism around the business side of it. Also, the accuracy of the based on a true story aspect might not be so great, but doggone it if I don't enjoy The Blind Side. If you just watch it as a movie, watch it as purely a work of fiction, you can really enjoy that movie.
That's a historical document, and the events occurred in real time. We all know that.
But yeah, I got The Blind Side at number 2. When I was looking over the list of Sandra Bullock movies, I was very surprised that was my second favorite, but that's how it played out.
She puts on a good Southern mama voice,
Yes.
When that movie came out, or who the movie is based on, or played for the Panthers, and they asked him how close is the movie to his actual life, and he said they got the part they got right was that I play football. That's literally all because he is a well-spoken person. And in the movie, you would think that the man is mentally disadvantaged, but he is definitely not. And it's so weird to me that, listen, not only are we going to use your life story and use your name in this thing, we're also going to make you look awful and not pay you anything for it. Get out of here, man. What are we doing? I can't believe that Hollywood is just collapsing in on itself. Isn't that hard to believe, boys?
Oh, I know. And it couldn't have happened to better people. It's sad.
My son may not be able to read a book, but he can read the O-line like nobody's business.
My God, man. My number 2 is the movie that I think is Sandy's second best movie. Therefore, it's number 2 on my list. She is so great in this movie. No one else could pull it off quite like she can. That movie is Miss Congeniality. I freaking love Miss Congeniality. I think there's probably, at the height of their fame, maybe 2 other people could pull this off, but not like Sandy, man. And Sandy is not afraid to look ugly in that movie, which you can't say for your Jennifer Anistons or your Julia Roberts. All of these people, none of those people would be willing to look as ugly as Sandra Bullock looks in a lot of scenes in this movie. I freaking love Miss Congeniality. Therefore, it is number 2.
Very nice. My number 2 is Speed. It's Speed, everybody. Again, the movie's fantastic. She doesn't have the lead in the movie and everything. You could barely say she has the co-lead because that's really Jeff Daniels who's got the really kind of co-lead.
He's gone though in 10 minutes, but yeah.
Oh, that's true. But he's but she has a presence in there that it's if you have somebody else, the role changes.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same thing. And you're right. She holds her own against Keanu there and everything, and you buy it. And again, like I said, the nervous Nelly nature of it all is perfect. You feel like she is behind the wheel of this, even though it's a picture car. You still feel like she's really driving the bus. So
Yeah,
she's doing a great job. But that's Speed, everybody. You like Speed? You've seen it before.
Who don't like that movie?
Got to be a weirdo. Catching up on Matt's there. Number 3, Miss Congeniality. Very nice. Robert's number 2 is Demolition Man, first glizzy eating movie. There you go. He's done the research for us.
Great.
Let's see. No, we're on 2, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Number 2 for Alex is Demolition Man.
Nice.
Number 2 for Matt is the Lost City, best comedy / adventure movie that I've seen in the last 10 years.
That's a pretty good recommendation.
That's
Not
a good
too
reco.
shabby there. All right, and we are on to numero uno, Bruce.
So number 1 for me is Speed. You guys have already got to mention it, but it's my favorite Sandra Bullock movie. I think if you didn't live through it, it's going to be hard for people to understand what a cultural phenomenon Speed was the year that it came out. And also, if you go back and watch it now, you might not get what the big deal was. And I can't even explain to you what it was, but it was a movie we needed at the time we needed it. It was the next, not since Die Hard had we kind of had that Speed phenomenon, I would say. Is that a fair thing to say, Sean?
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, Speed was important to me. Pop quiz, hot shot became something I still use to this day, and it had quite the cultural impact.
And like even from like I remember the advertising campaign for Speed was just mad. It was everywhere. There was so much of it, and you had you got Dennis Hopper in there doing all of his lines and stuff like that. These amazing kind of wraparound shots with the fire behind him and everything. Just cinematic as shit. Just doing all of these trailers. And even the trailers made you just go like, damn, you got to see this movie. And the bus flying. They sold it perfectly. And then they delivered on what they were selling you too. That's the even better part.
Well, the guy had already shot Die Hard is the director of the movie, so it makes sense that the action scenes in this are going to be great. I mean, it's fair enough. The also the thing I love about Speed is that like Die Hard on a bus, but they also said to themselves, what if we make Die Hard but with hot people in it? And everyone was like, yes, excellent idea. And because they'd already learned their lesson from Seinfeld to Friends, they were like, what if we make Seinfeld but with hot people? And they were like, yes, 1,000 times yes. Where is that show? And so they did it.
Make them attractive, please.
My number 1 is what I still to this day believe is Melissa McCarthy's last great movie. That movie is called The Heat. I love this movie. I love both ladies in this movie are perfect. I think that Sandra Bullock, a lot of other female actors, I believe they're called actresses. There's a lot of actresses in Hollywood who would not be cool with standing next to someone who gets all the funny lines. But Sandy is able to pull it off because she's Sandra Bullock, and she's like, you know what? I can make my lines funny, and she does. And I just love The Heat. I love it, and it's one of those movies where you're like, on the pantheon of like buddy cop movies, it's on the list. The Heat is on the list, man. Like you got a top 10. The Heat has got to be on there because it's so good.
The last really good Melissa McCarthy movie is called Can You Ever Forgive Me from 2018.
I have not seen that.
Is that the one where she's a literary forger?
Yes.
Oh,
fantastic. It's probably the best thing she's ever done.
Really?
It's really, really good. She's
nice.
It's all dramatic and everything. Richard E. Grant is in it. It's good stuff.
Back in 2018, there was like Oscar buzz for her performance, right?
Oh, she should.
Wow.
Yeah, she should have at least been nominated, if not probably won. She was really, really good.
I gotta write that down.
Number one for you, Adam.
Number one, like it's the first one that comes to mind, and it's kind of like what I would call beginning of second act of Sandra Bullock, and that's Miss Congeniality. It's been talked about before, but it really is kind of that perfect movie for her. Like Sean said, I don't know anyone else that you could put in that role and have it accomplish what she ends up accomplishing with it. It's not even close. Certainly around that time and everything, you won't find another actor that's going to slip in like that. She does it so great. She's got great chemistry. Benjamin Bratt, we didn't really talk about, but like he's awesome in that flick. Another one where you're just like, oh, this guy's got something. I like this guy too. It's super great.
It's also very clear that when Jennifer, I can't remember her last name from Hunger Games, Jennifer
Lawrence,
when Jennifer Lawrence agrees to do romantic comedies, she's like, that's fine, but it's got to be like Miss Congeniality romantic comedies. Like everything she's in romantically, like haha funny, is more that lean than like your standard lean. And look, Jennifer Lawrence is great, but she ain't Sandy. She's not Sandy, and it doesn't work as well. Right.
Robert's number one is Practical Magic. Look at that.
It's a good movie, man. If you haven't seen it, see it. It's pretty cool. It's also fun to watch Sandy just steal every damn scene from Nicole Kidman because she totally does. It's so good.
Alex's number one, Infamous, Toby Jones playing Truman Capote.
Oh, wow.
I think I'd like that. I like Toby Jones. He that's the guy that played Arnim Zola, right?
Yes, sir.
And number one from Matt, Demolition Man, still pretty accurately predicting the future 32 years later.
Nice.
Hey, listen, if everything is run by the Yum Corporation, every restaurant is Taco Bell. So technically we are correct. So, there we have it. That is it, everybody. Another Dinger Zone under our belts. We want to say a big, giant thank you to the chat for chiming in here and everything. And for those of you that are listening to this at patreon.com/DingerZone, we would love to have you in the chat as well on the podcast here, man. So come over and check out the regular full podcast at 8 p.m. on Sundays, and then probably around a little bit after 9 p.m. we start up the Dinger Zone, and we'd love to have you here. So that is it, everybody. Join us next week for another Dinger Zone. Adios, mofos.
Mwah! Hey, we all did it.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
All right, folks, I gotta run.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody in the chat here and everything. We really appreciate you. And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, everybody.